Hey everyone, welcome to Crimson Hollow. My name's Courtney and I'm a visual artist / game developer. I'm currently solo developing a hand-drawn video game about a magical town called Crimson Hollow. In this video, I'll be giving you an update on the game's progress, as well as sharing my strategy for creating characters in the game. Over the past month, my primary goal has been on improving the gameplay for Crimson Hollow. I began this endeavor by fleshing out the crafting system, which involves recipe cards that can be placed in the player's inventory. These cards work a lot like the DIY recipes in Animal Crossing, but require certain skill levels from the players. I explored different ways to implement blacksmithing so that it would feel tactile and gave players the freedom to mess around and experiment. In World of Warcraft, blacksmithing can be leveled up and the players must be near an anvil when creating items. I incorporated these ideas into Crimson Hollow so that as players progress from apprentice to journeyman to master, they unlock new abilities that can be used to improve the quality of items. The blacksmithing crafting system is not yet fully complete, but I feel I'm headed in the right direction. In addition to working on the crafting system, I also dedicated time to other aspects of the game. I revamped the recipe page of the player journal to help players manage their recipe cards. I also implemented a mining mechanic with 3 different mining deposit types, each yielding different ores for the player to use with blacksmithing. Furthermore, I created the exterior and interior of a cozy blacksmith shop. I also organized the player's animator to include animation blending trees for mining, running, and picking up objects in 8 different directions. One of the missing aspects in the game was a functioning energy bar. Previously, I had a very basic concept for the energy bar, but it didn't have any coding attached, and it just fell out of place from the rest of the game's color palette. So I decided to scrap it and make a new one that was somehow connected to the moon cycle. In a top-down game like this, players are never able to actually see the sky, so I had to find another way to visually communicate the moon cycle with players. To achieve this, I made a lunar energy bar and created a script that tracked the player's energy throughout each day. I set the default energy amount to 100 and made it so the bar depletes when energy is used. I also worked on improving the day and night cycle script so that it turned the streetlights on and off at night. In addition, the script now tracks the current day, which resets the player's lunar energy amount each night. I also made a lunar cycle script that uses an array and swaps through 28 images that display the current phase of the moon. Ever since I began developing Crimson Hollow back in February, I knew I wanted to bring a cast of unique characters to life. The townsfolk are the heart of the game, and play a crucial role in driving the player's narrative forward. Character design has always been a passion of mine. My art portfolio is composed almost entirely of different character design concepts. While I've enjoyed illustrating unique characters for years, animating characters for video games requires a unique approach. The challenge lies in animating them in the same consistent style and isometric perspective as the rest of the game. I'm also implementing character customization, so this adds another layer of complexity. After experimenting with several different animation approaches, I've arrived at a design solution similar to the strategy used to make the characters in the game Hades. This approach involves 3 main steps. First, I create concept artwork. Then it's sculpted into a 3D model. And finally, it's converted into a 2D animation. As promised, I'll give you a behind-the-scenes look at this process. I began the character design pipeline by creating concept art to determine the appearance and art style that would best fit into Crimson Hollow. Considering factors such as professions, personalities, and silhouette, I opted for portraits displaying the character's outfit as a signifier of their profession and backstory. To streamline the process, I utilized line art and flat colors instead of shading for the portraits, and instead focused on value ranges for visual interest. At this stage, my focus is on creating character orthogonals. This means I draw the character from different angles so that it can later be used to create a 3D model. In this example of the player model, I draw the character from the front, side, and back. Moving on to the 3D modeling stage, I collaborated with an experienced 3D modeler who brought my orthogonal artwork into Blender to create the models. For animations, I utilized a combination of Mixamo and Unity Asset Store animations. Then I used an animation baking studio to capture the 3D models in various directions and converted them into sprite sheets. So far, I have 2 playable characters that can be customized and 2 fully designed NPCs. We have Devra the coal miner and Rowan the doctor. With this streamlined character design process in place, I am now making steady progress in bringing additional townsfolk into the game. Lastly, I would like to announce that the Crimson Hollow Patreon is now live. I currently have just 1 tier for Lunar patrons. If you're interested and able to support the development of Crimson Hollow, you'll gain access to exclusive gameplay gifts, wallpaper artwork, weekly art assignments covering the art fundamentals, voting polls, and more. Currently, I have a poll on Patreon asking which character you'd like me to reveal next. Right now, the librarian is in the lead, but that could change. If you're unable to join the Patreon, another great way to support Crimson Hollow is by wishlisting the game on Steam. This helps to get the game noticed by new players. I'll include the links to Steam, Patreon, and the Crimson Hollow official website below. I also have a Discord for Crimson Hollow, where I frequently post journal updates on the game's progress, and share weekly news through the Crimson Gazette. We have regular community events and drawing challenges on the Discord, so be sure to check it out. And finally, I want to give a special thank you to my current Lunar patrons who are helping to fund this project. Thank you so much for believing in me and helping to support my dream. And of course, a huge thank you goes to the entire Crimson Hollow community. Your enthusiasm and engagement for the game has truly been incredible. Your support motivates me to continue to persevere and improve on the game. Although I'm a solo developer, I don't feel like I'm alone in making this game. Anyways, that's all for this devlog. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.